hear me? I said go.
I don't think if this is litter. If you're throwing it away, I'm going to pick it up. I do have feelings. When I listen, they remind me what's important in my heart.
And here it is. Sedispir. Boom. So this is my comic/manga Sedispir. And if you're at all curious, Sedispir is about an underground kingdom that's trying to find the surface, as the people in this kingdom are promised that the surface is what will bring them fulfillment and will also bring them immortality. Gray, our main character, grew up in an odd way, which has convinced him more than anyone else that finding the surface is the only reason for his existence. This causes him to look down on and bully others, like Chris, for example. Gray and Chris both attend the Digman Academy of Cornerstone, and while Gray is one of the highest ranks, being considered the greatest prospect as a Digman in the history of Sedispir, Chris is ranked last in his class due to how weak he is, although he is very smart. Right before they're about to graduate, and right before Gray will follow his goal of becoming a Digman and finding the surface, an unexpected tragedy happens. We're doing a take 2 because that audio was not good. So something I do on this channel is pretty much every single time after I finish a chapter, I make a video talking about the creative process that went into making that chapter, both in terms of writing and in terms of the actual drawing. I do that for a few reasons. First of all, I really like devlogs on YouTube of indie game, whatever, people making games. So that's kind of my version of that. And then the second reason, this is more so I discovered this after my last video. Am I being forced to explain the decisions I made when making the chapter? I'm also forced to better understand the characters and the world, and that's good for, obviously, that's just good. I don't need to, that's good. It's good. That's good. Yeah. So for this video, I'm also just going to talk just a little bit, don't worry, just a little bit, about the problems I had printing these, because I had many problems. Oh, so no. just so you have an idea of how long this took to get done, I started trying to get these printed, or started the process of trying to get them printed, exactly 2 months ago as of recording this, January 25th. And the reason it took so long boils down to 2 reasons. First of all, when I was drawing Sedispir for 2.5 years, 2 years leading up to this, what I did to create the template I would use to draw on for every single page is I saved a page from Chainsaw Man online. I copied and pasted it into my drawing software and I just traced it. Because I was like, surely this page will be like in the right format for printing in the future and stuff like that. I shouldn't have done that. I should have done my research. Because the digital thing I saved just wasn't accurate to what a printed page's dimensions. I had 216 pages of Digman, and all of them were not formatted correctly for printing. To explain what I can't like do both of these at the same time. So what I'm about to point to is like the inside margin of the panel.
Wow, that's the inside margin.
So in my initial versions, those were just way too close to the outside, or like I guess the inside of the page. And that's an issue because when you put them in the book, it'd mean a lot of my drawings and a lot of my text would be in the would be in the binding of the book, which is really bad because you can't. It's hard to read and the art's hidden.
What's happening? What's going on? Oh, darn! That sucks.
So I had to go and change that. It would have been a really easy solution if I just changed the dimensions of the book itself, but I was very set on the volume being 5 inches by 7.5 inches, just like Chainsaw Man. No, I will not be talking about the ending. So instead what I had to do is I had to edit every single page. Content on the page, like the actual drawings were this thick. I had to make them thin and then move them more to the outside so that there was more space for the binding. So I did that and that took a long time. It doesn't sound like it'd take that long. I didn't think it would take as long as it did, but it took a while. So then when I submitted that final version, Amazon said, bro, you're doing it wrong. So then I kept trying to edit things and I kept getting denied. And then I realized it's because the new pages I made just for printing were still 75 pixels too wide. So then I had to do it all over again. So this is obviously just all my fault. I was being so incredibly stupid. So then yeah, then it finally got approved. And then it took 2 weeks for all the volumes that I ordered to get here. Number 2. Second reason, and this reason hurt so much more.
No, what could it possibly be? No way.
So for anyone who's watched any of my previous videos on Sedispir or like TikToks or literally anything, you would know that it used to be called... So ever since I came up with this idea back in 2020, it's been Digman. And while I was working on it in like 2021, a show came out called Digman by Warner Brothers. So then I had to switch the name. I didn't. I really wish I switched it sooner so I didn't get so attached to the name, but I didn't. So then right before I was going to print, I was like, shoot, I still have to change the name. And it fucking sucks, by the way. Yeah. So anyways, I had to come up with a new name. And this took me like a week and a half. 'Cause I was very married to the title Digman. Like I truly loved that name. I thought it was the perfect name for my story. So I came up with 3 names. 1, Delver. 2, Descended. 3, Sedispir. I came up with more names, but those are the ones that made it to the final elimination round. Delver. Delver was just a replacement for Digman, obviously. And I think that's like, I still like that name. I think it's a fine name. I think it's actually a good name. Just no one I brought that idea up to liked the name. They all just disliked it, which is fine.
No, it's not.
I probably should have had a better reason for eliminating Delver than just my friends didn't like it. So now Descended. Descended, I think, is actually a really good title for the series.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree with your agreement.
No way, I agree with your agreement too.
Because obviously it's Underground Kingdom, then also thematically. Since this is my second take of this, I get to explain once more as to why I didn't go with this name. And after my last take, I realized it boiled down to just something in my gut, or just something about I just didn't like. When I think of Descended, I think of a very dark series that is probably a horror.
Spooky.
And that's just not what Sedispir is at all. But that's still not like a very good reason as to why I didn't pick it. Especially because since it's an actual word that I didn't make up, it's significantly more marketable. Especially in the short term. I never expect this to actually become like a job or anything. It's always going to be a passion project.
Wow, what a great guy. I'm gonna go read it now.
So I decided I would just go with the name I was more passionate about and I liked more for whatever reason. That is Sedispir. Sedispir is the name of the kingdom, which is why it became one of the options. And it's called Sedispir because of sediment and spire. Then you combine the 2 words, you get Sedispire. Then I dropped the E at the end because I just thought it sounded cooler if it were Sedispir.
Oh my god, he's a genius.
However, it's probably, in terms of like trying to get sales, it's probably not a good name. It's a made up word, and when I say it to someone, they're probably not going to know how to spell it. But the reason I like Sedispir is 1, it's the name of the kingdom. And the setting is like truly a unique setting. It's all underground. Light up. They're like, to me, it sounds kind of like, I think I'm actually like, and now that also doesn't grounded. Basically, I don't know why. I don't know why I chose it. I don't know. What I do know is that for some reason I liked it, and so I picked it, even though I probably shouldn't have. And now here we are. Sedispir is in my hands. So the way I sell these might be kind of confusing because earlier I said I print them on Amazon. Because normally when someone creates a book on Amazon, what happens is anyone in the world can go to the page on Amazon for the book and they can order it. When they order it, Amazon then prints it and then sends it to them. The way I'm doing it is instead I use Amazon to print the book, then I order a bunch of copies myself because as the author, you can order author copies. And author copies are basically, you're giving them at cost almost. Probably not exactly at cost because it's Amazon. I don't think they're doing it for free, but you can basically do it at cost. So for me to create 1 copy of Sedispir, it's around, I think it's $3.69. And for it to be that low on other printing sites, you have to order like 3,000 copies, and then it would be like $2 per copy. I don't know, I don't remember the math I'm saying, but I don't have like that much money laying around, you know? So Amazon was the best way to do that. And then the other reason I'm doing it this way is because let's say I want to make $7.50 by selling a copy. To achieve that, if I order at cost and ship it myself, I have to sell Sedispir at around $12.99. However, on Amazon, if I want to make $7.50 per copy, I've just set the price because of all the percentages Amazon takes out. I've just set that price to around like $21. So that's why I decided I want to just ship it myself. 1, I think it's cooler and it feels a little bit more like personal when I'm the one doing everything myself. And then secondly, I made the profit margins the same, but it would just be cheaper for you to buy, which is why I did it that way.
Oh my goodness, he's such a man of the
So yeah, you can buy 1 copy of Sedispir on my website, connorrhodes.com, for $12.99. And then you can also buy the Sedispir sticker back on my website for $3.99. In case you're zooming in really closely, the gray sticker, that one looks perfect. However, the Sedispir and the Chris sticker, they have like this weird texture on them. But don't worry, the stickers you'd be getting, the texture will be perfect. As of right now, I'm only shipping I'm only shipping within the US. Okay, this isn't true anymore. I'm shipping both inside the US and outside of the US. However, if you're shopping outside of the US and you only want the Sedispir volume, then on my shop website, I would recommend you clicking the link at the top and just ordering it from Amazon, because it'll be a lot cheaper with shipping. However, if you really want the Sedispir sticker pack, then you can still order that from my website. So yeah, if you were to order anything, it would just mean so much to me. Ever since I started drawing 4 or 5 years ago, it was just my actual like dream to like just be able to hold something I made in my own hands like this. So it's just so surreal. And then my next goal is just to sell it to one stranger, because I think it'd be just really cool. There's just one person who thought something I made was worth their money. So yeah, if you make an order, I'd very much appreciate it. If you don't want to order it because you're just not that interested, or you can't order it because you're just not in the financial place to do so, you can still read all of Sedispir for free on my website, and I would love for you to do so. It's really important to me for it to be free to read, just because I would just love for as many people to read Sedispir as possible. So on my website, Creds.com, you can also just read it for free, and that also means the world to me. If you just give it a read, I would really greatly appreciate it. I didn't even show you guys any pages inside. Here's like, it's just so cool. It's actually just bizarre that I'm holding my own comic. And if you want an additional way to support me, maybe the manga's too expensive, or you just really like the manga and you want another way to support me, you can go to my Patreon. You can find the link to that also on my website, connorrhodes.com, if you scroll down on the homepage. On my Patreon, there's multiple tiers, but the lowest one, $2.99 a month, you'll get access to the monthly Sedispir comic strip. Every month, I release a new comic strip. Right now we're at 6 total. This volume only has 4. And obviously that's going to build up as the months go. Also, within the world of Sedispir, there's a TCG called Skymon that's inspired by a TCG my friend and I were making when we were in 5th grade. You also get to see all of those cards on my Patreon. Also, you'll get other things at different tiers. For example, you'll get to look at the storyboards. You'll get to read the original script. So yeah, any level of support that includes just reading it for free on my website or liking the video. I really just appreciate it so much, and it would mean the world to me. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. This was a really weird video to make because, like I said earlier, my dream for the longest time has been to just hold a volume of my manga in my hands. So it's really surreal that it's finally happened. Like, it's just like what I dreamt of for years. So it's really cool just to hold in my hand. Then my next goal is to sell 1 copy to 1 stranger, as I also said in the video. See, I don't want to just rehash what I just said. Earlier in the video, I had a moment in the script where I had to go in an unusual way. And going in and I'm kind of killing it right now actually, but I had to cut it out because I just couldn't say it right after like 15 tries. Hopefully volume 2 doesn't take as long to make, although it probably will, but a lot of the process is more streamlined now for me. So I'm already 5 chapters into the next wait, no, I'm already 5 pages into the next chapter. If I were already 5 chapters into the next volume, that would have been fucking glorious. Okay, that's it. If you buy a volume, that would be awesome. Bye-bye.